guys, how's it going? It's James here from Audio.etc. I know it's been so long since I uploaded a video. I'm sorry. You guys know I've got stuff going on in my life at the moment that's making it a bit hard for me to sort of figure out what I want to do and make videos. And in all honesty, there literally just has been nothing that interesting going on at work that I've wanted to film. So there was one interesting job where I did some amps and speakers and stuff like that, but it was a real under the gun kind of one where I had to get it done in a certain amount of time, and I didn't have time for filming on that. But I did take some pictures which I'll chuck up on my Facebook page at some point. But it was, what was it? It was like a Ford Transit, and we put Type R 6x8s in the front, or 5x7s, whatever you want to call them. A Pioneer MVH Z5050. Type R 6x9s in boxes in the boot, in the rear, which were like firing out the doors so he could entertain people outside. And he had like 2 Pioneer subwoofers, and we powered all of it off those Pioneer carbon fibre looking amps. So it was a cool job, but I just didn't have time for filming. But anyway, today's video is kind of meant to be like a kind of a catch-up video, because I know it's been a while since I talked to you guys, and you guys are like wondering what's going on with me. And also I've got a new toy that I want to show you, so yeah, I'm quite excited about it. So a lot of you may not have known this, because I think I actually haven't really mentioned it in any of my videos yet, but I rode motorbikes. So I've had my current motorbike, which is this thing here under the cover. I've had this for a good 2 or 3 years now. It's a, well, I'll show you. So it's a Yamaha TW200 2005. I got it way back when. I can't even remember when I got it. It feels like about 2 or 3 years ago, but it's been such a good bike. Like it's a dual purpose, so it goes off-road like a beast, but it's also road legal. That's obviously why it has to have mirrors and indicators and brake lights and that sort of thing to be road legal. But yeah, no, I do like it. I do like it a lot. It's really fun. It's super reliable. The sitting position on it is very, very good and upright. Like I just sit here literally like this, and like my back is straight, and I just ride along like real chill, real cruisy. And it's got all the power I need. I'm not a super fast kind of person. You guys know me with my legacy. I haven't done any mechanical upgrades. I have not got a huge need for speed. So 200 cc's does me fine. However, in the past year, I've been kind of just wanting a wee bit more, just a wee bit more grunt. And more than anything, I kind of wanted to get a road bike, because I bought this back with the intention, when I bought this, I had the intention of using it for its off-road capabilities. I took it to Wainui once and rode the Summit Road, which is a gravel track, and it handled it awesome. I've gone up the hills a couple times on the gravel road, but other than that, I really haven't used the dual purpose side of it that much, because it's got these massive fuck off tires. Like, this thing is fat. I call it the Batmobile, because from behind it literally looks like that thing. There's a massive knobbly tire, pretty big, pretty wide tire for a front wheel as well, especially on a little 200. So yeah, so with those tires, I've just been a wee bit sketchy going around corners, and I know what you're thinking, why don't you change the tires? I don't know, I really, really like the bike, but it's been time for an upgrade for a while now, and I've been looking at bikes online secretly. I knew what I wanted to get. I was looking at 250s for quite a while, so like just a wee bit more go than what this has, because this has got all the go I need to get past all the cars and everything like that, but it doesn't do highway speeds. It used to do highway speeds when I got it, because when I got it, it came from Rangiora, which is like a little sort of mini town which is just outside of Christchurch, and you do have to do a highway commute to get here. So this did used to be a commuter, and it did go highway speeds, but maybe 6 months to a year after I got it, I had to do a chain and sprocket. I didn't do it, I paid someone to do it, because I'm not a mechanic and I don't know much about bikes, but I got someone to install a new sprocket and chain, because the chain was real floppy and loose and it was skipping and stuff like that. But unfortunately, for some reason, they couldn't get the exact same sprocket as what was on there, like the factory one. They could only get one which was right for the bike but a different tooth, and that changed its ratio a wee bit. Before it used to, as I say, before it used to be able to do highway speeds. Now you probably could, but it would be really high revs. So essentially what they did was lowered the top speed and increased the torque a wee bit. So it's really, really torquey. But yeah, now I kind of want something that can just go just a wee bit faster, but not super fast. Like, I'm not looking for like a 600 or a 1 litre or a 1.6 or anything like that. I don't need those absolute beasts on wheels. So yeah, this one is basically up for sale now because I have gone out and bought a new bike. I've just been waiting for one to come across online for the right price. I'll put that cover on it a wee bit later, but yeah, I knew exactly what I wanted because they were beautiful, and I did heaps of research online, and everyone who's had one, geez, it's quiet in here, isn't it? Everyone who's had one, excuse the washing, has said that they're really, really, really good. No complaints whatsoever. So let's go out and have a look at it. If you guys are just tuning in and haven't seen my channel before and you're here just to look at the bike, that's cool. Nice meeting you. If you guys are regular viewers, make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'll do like a big sort of catch up and let you know what's been going on in the past 2 weeks. After that, we'll do that then. Okay, let's go get this thing out of the garage. So, here she is, my new baby. This is my 2014. I love that it's the same age as my car. My 2014 Kawasaki EX300, or Ninja if you want to. Some people call it a Ninja 300, some people call it an EX300. I think technically it's registered as an EX300A, but Ninja's just like, you know, Ninja. I love it. So this is exactly the bike that I'm just going to sit on it for comfort. So this is exactly the bike that I wanted to get when I started researching into other, you know, sport motorbikes that maybe were a bit more powerful than what I had. At first I was looking at the 250s, like the green ones, the ones that there's lots of, and I really liked the way that they look. I thought they were quite cool, and there was a lot of them online available, and everyone had nothing but good things to say about them. And after a wee bit of research, that's when I found out that they make a 300cc model, and I wasn't overly game on the 300. I didn't care about the 50cc's extra, but what I soon discovered is that the 300s, they just seem to pack a whole lot more into them than they do the 250s. And everyone online was saying, like everyone on the YouTube videos, I always do lots of research on buying stuff. Everyone was saying, if you get the 300, 250's nothing wrong with it, but the 300 is worth its money. For 50cc's more, and like quite a big price point difference, there's the reason that there's more of a price point difference, and it's not just the 50cc's. So I did test drive a 250, by the way, and I do notice a difference. Like, it's honestly that notable in power. So it's not the exact color I want. If I had a choice of what color I got it in, I really, really like the white ones of these. I'll stick a picture up. And not like the new later model white ones with like the decals and stuff all of them, just like the straight white and black. I think they stand out a lot. Black is very cool, it's very stealth and badass looking, but if you're a motorbike rider, you know that really what matters more than looking cool is people seeing you to begin with. There's too much mindless car drivers out there who just straight up aren't looking or on their phone or something, and motorbike riders just aren't seen. We're small, we've only really got like the one headlight in the front and a couple of reflectors, and even though like this thing, like, you know, I don't even know how much it weighs, but we're talking like there's a fair bit of mass right here, and they still don't even see me. So I really wanted a white one because I thought it would stand out really well, and I also really like the color. But this one popped up online. It was at a wee bit more than the right price for me. I managed to bargain with them, got it down to the price that I wanted, and I bought it. But I was going through like a small mental dilemma at the time, because a lot of you guys know I've got shit going on with work. Like, it's an iffy situation at the moment. Is it really a good time to be taking money out of my savings and spending it on a new vehicle? The way I looked at it is this: if things get worse and it really becomes necessary, I'll just have to sell it again. I'm confident I can easily get back what I paid for it, and I'll just have to sell it, which I really, really, really don't want to, because I am so in love with it after riding it for like a week. I'm so in love with it, and I don't want to sell it, but I've told Jess she doesn't need to worry. If it gets really, really bad, I'm gonna have to sell this thing to get some money back. And if not, then I got the bike that I really wanted for a great price. So yeah, that was like, it was just that thinking, you know. I just had to get over that little lump and then be like, okay, I'll take the risk and we'll do it. But yeah, so at the moment it's completely stock. If you guys have any motorbikes, or if you have one of these, let me know in the comments, let me know what you've done to it. So it's completely bone stock at the moment, except for I think these little circular mirrors he's stuck on himself, or the previous owner might have stuck on himself, because they don't come with those. I am the third owner. The first owner only rode it less than 2,000 Ks, I believe. The second owner, the guy who is the guy that I bought it off, and he's ridden it from 2,000 Ks to about 9,100. So I've got 9,114 Ks on the odometer at the moment. So there is a service coming up soon, but it's still under the 10K mark, so it's not right away, but I'm quite happy with the fact that it's only had less than 10,000 Ks put on it. So just going back to what I was saying before, the differences between the 250 and the 300, and I'll point them out and I'll try and stick some pictures up if I can. First thing that I really liked was the difference in the speedo cluster. So this is the 300 one. All 300s from like 2013 on have them like this. You get a nice big tach meter, a digital speedo with your digital odometer, trip meter and clock and fuel tank, and obviously you got like indicators flashing on the left and right there, and everything's, you know, nice, and it looks cooler, it looks more aggressive. So the 250s, I will try and stick a picture up. The 250s have that triple circular metal looking cluster, where I believe it has tach, speed and possibly something else like fuel or oil or temperature or something like that. And I really didn't like it. It looked quite old, considering I test drove a 250 2010 and it had this really old cluster looking thing. So that's a huge difference. I think it's just a really nice aesthetic upgrade. Aesthetically, another thing that is different is the fairings. Oh man, it's really hard to see with the black. The fairings look way different to the 250. Well, not way different, but enough to make it just look that much cooler. I'll stick a picture of a white 250 and a white 300 up, and you guys can just see the difference and tell me if you agree, if you think the 250s look better over the 300s. I like that the 300s have flush mounted indicators factory, whereas the 250s have indicators like those things sticking out from the side here. I think they're quite ugly, whereas these are nice and flush mounted. The 300s, they do make in an ABS model. This is the non-ABS model. I'm honestly not that bothered about not having ABS. I very rarely ride it in the wet, so I'm not worried about losing traction in that kind of way. And I mean, sure, it'd be good to have, but I honestly don't think I would ever end up using it. Like, in my years of riding motorbikes, have never once hit an oil slick and never once been riding in the wet around a corner so fast that I'm losing traction or something like that. Because I'm a good cautious rider. This is probably going to make me push my limits a wee bit more than that 200 did, but I'm very responsible with riding. What else about the the headlights are different. So the 300s have these cool separate eyes. You got like the left and right. This one here, they've both got park lights up in the very corners there, and then this one here is your low beam or your dip, which is always on when the bike is running, and then that's your high beam. So if I turn the key on but don't start it, you can see the park lights turn on. If I start it up, the dip light comes on, high beam, and then they're both on. And you can see the brightness difference. And starting it up right then reminded me of something else. The 300s, fuel injected, and that I think is probably my favourite thing about this. The amount of time I have spent trying to get that 200 started at the beginning of spring or something, like right after winter when it sat in the garage, because I don't really ride over winter because it rains a lot here. The amount of time I've spent trying to get that thing to turn over. The electric start takes a while to work. Sometimes I end up just having to kick it 1,000 times. Got a choke, it's carbureted. The 250s are the same, you know. I'm sure they'd probably be better than my 200, being that they're a newer bike, but the fact that this is fuel injected and not carbureted, there's no such thing as a choke. All I have to do on the coldest, frostiest morning, if I really want to, is turn the key on and do that. That was my fault, I didn't crank it for long enough. So it's all done by the computer. It's like your car, you know. Any modern car is going to be fuel injected and not carbureted. So that is probably my favourite thing about it versus the 250s. The cluster, just, it's so much nicer to look at on a day-to-day basis when because you see it every day you ride. The one thing that I don't like about the bikes, both the 250 and the 300, and I think every single person who owns one of these bikes agrees with me, because it's just such a common thing to do, is this fricking ugly fairing thing coming out the back. If I put my hand just there, you can see the design of the bike. The Kawasaki was thinking this thing's going to look cool, and then NZTA, or the Transport Association, came along and stuck that thing on the back of it. They're like, oh, you need to have indicators and a number plate light and a number plate and reflectors and for me an L plate because I'm still on my learners. Only by choice, because the difference between the learners and the restricted here in New Zealand literally is just that piece of yellow plastic, and you have to like pay and go and do a test and everything to prove that you can ride, just so you can take the yellow tag off. Not worth it to me. I'll just run the yellow tag, you know. But I will have to upgrade to a restricted soon, because apparently New Zealand Transport Association is bringing in a new rule, meaning that your learners can only last like 2 years or something. So I'll probably get my restricted at some point soon. And I think once I do what everyone who gets one of these bikes does, which is a fairing delete, basically get as much of this as you can and suck it all back up in there, I probably will end up getting my restricted, because the L plate will just make it look shit. So yeah, this is my bike. I love it. Hope you guys love it. I think it's so cool. I'll talk about some things that I plan on doing to it. Yeah, I'll do that now. Okay, so things I'm gonna do to this bike, because you guys know I like to customize my vehicles. It's not gonna be right away, because as you guys know, you probably know, I do have some crap going on at work. My income at the moment is in question, so I'm not spending heaps of money right away. But assuming I get to keep this bike, I've got quite a bit of stuff I want to do to it. First thing, obviously, fairing delete. I've already looked at a few brands online and watched videos, and seems like TST are a very good brand. They seem really, really high quality. Basically, you unbolt this whole assembly, the number plate gets mounted about just there, somewhere like way up in here. I'm gonna get possibly a TST or another brand's integrated tail light thing. So this is a tail light which is always on, as well as the brake light. But you can get versions of this which has the indicators built in as well, so that will do away with those. And then they also make a nice little LED light which goes over the number plate to light it up, because you need one of those in New Zealand. It needs to be lit up. But that will get rid of all of this ugly plastic, get rid of that reflector, the side reflectors. It looks so much cleaner. That's one thing I want to do. The exhaust. At some point I will do an exhaust. It probably won't be the first thing I do, because that's probably one of the more expensive modifications. I don't plan on, as I say, doing any engine modification or tuning or anything like that, but there are lots of available slip-on mufflers for these things to make them sound cooler. I'm already looking at a couple that I like, Hot Body muffler and Kaufman muffler. I really like those two because they sound loud. I want that really like over the top loud sounding thing. Not the raspy, not the subtle muffled sound, the loud. I want it to sound like a beast, you know. Because let's face it, it looks like a beast. They look so cool, but they're so lightweight and easy to maneuver and flicky, and it's got just the right amount of power for me. This thing is so fun to ride. I'm gonna go for a ride in a minute, and you'll see. What else do I want to do to it? I might do some daytime running lights similar to what I've got it done to my car, because I have got another set of those rubber strips, the non-indicating version. Thinking of putting them down inside here or something like that, maybe, I don't know. I'll probably end up doing some stuff with lights. And at this point, I am still unsure what I want to do with the color. I'm either going to keep it entirely black and then replace as many things as I can with little anodized gold metal. So like you can replace all of the bolts, all the fairing bolts, you can replace like the oil, like the brake fluid cap, you can replace the oil cap. Lots of little things here and there with like anodized aluminium gold componentry. I think that would look really cool. That, or my other option is I make it into a white version of this thing, and I do that by wrapping some of these fairings in white automotive vinyl. So the stock white version of this bike comes with a white fuel tank. Obviously I won't be wrapping the fuel tank, but I have seen pictures out there of people with white versions of this bike with a black fuel tank, and I think it looks quite cool. So I would have to wrap all the gloss black, like this big piece, all of this, not the tank, and the headlight surround assembly and the front tyre cover shroud in white automotive vinyl, and I think it would look really cool. if I do that, I won't go down like the gold anodized road. So I'm kind of at, I don't have to make a decision right away, because as I say, I don't know if I'm keeping the bike yet. I want to, but I'm not going to do anything just yet. I'm going to keep it stock for a wee bit. I hope this dead cat is working, because it's windy out here. Why does it always have to be either like calm and cold, or sunny and beautiful like this but windy? So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go the black and gold look or the black and white look, but yeah, that's most of the modifications I think I want to do. I did have a list on my phone. Some other little things. I see you can actually buy screen protectors for these speedo clusters. That'd be a good thing to have. And I'm going to put in a gear light indicator, because this doesn't actually tell you what gear you're on at any point, and sometimes I forget to count while I'm going through them. So a little LED thing to tell me what gear I'm on will really help me out. I feel like it's something they definitely could have included in the cluster, but for some reason they didn't. Yeah, I think that's everything I can think of. A sound system. I will put a sound system in this. Yes, definitely. If I get around to modifying it. I'm worried that by the time I go to do that, I probably won't be working auto sound anymore. So I won't be able to get as good of a deal, but it's something that I couldn't live without. So I hopefully one day will put a sound system in this. How cool would a Rockford Fosgate PMX 3 or a PMX 2 look on this thing? They're quite big, so I don't know where I would put it, but it's like the exact right shape. Possibly I could mount it down. I'd have to build something and mount it down here, but it depends. Oh yeah, it would fit under there. That'd be a good place to put it. Little PMX 5 down here. PMX 2 I mean. That would look so cool, and it seems like the done thing that people do is they put speakers like down inside the shroud, inside the fairings down there, and the sound kind of comes up. And I probably will end up replacing the rear seat with like an OEM looking cowl, like so it's plastic as opposed to seat material, because I honestly don't think Jess is ever going to come on the back of this with me. I have taken her on the back of the bike of the Yamaha before, only a couple of times when we needed to, but I don't think she definitely isn't going to ride on this enough to justify having a seat there. And I need to get my full license for this before I can do that legally. So yeah, that's my bike. Let's go for a spin. By the way, just before we go onto the GoPro, you guys probably want to know what it sounds like. You can see heaps of videos of these things with stock exhaust and upgraded exhaust on YouTube, but we might as well see what it sounds like with the Rode microphone. I don't want to rev it heaps right now just because it's not hot, but it's just got a real basic sound to it. It sounds really, it sounds like a high-powered scooter, so it definitely needs an exhaust upgrade at some point. But let's go for a ride. I've got the GoPro on the helmet, and I've mounted a microphone in there, so I'll be able to talk as we go, and yeah, hopefully this works.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Okay, it is literally hours later now because so as soon as I got back from my bike ride, I hit my GoPro to stop the recording, but then that started a recording, which was this clip. And when that happened, I thought, oh god, have I forgotten to record this whole thing? I thought I had. I thought I'd forgotten to record the whole bike trip. And then I got my SD card, got it on the computer, plugged it in. There's a 3.5 gigabyte file there, so there's definitely a video of my bike trip. But the file is corrupt. And I've spent 2 or 3 hours trying every method under the sun that I can find to de-corrupt that video file, but I can't get it to work. Sorry guys, I might have to do that another time or tomorrow or something like that. I really wanted it as well because there was one corner that I was going around where some idiot in a blue Subaru, like a dark blue Impreza, hit the corner way too fast, went over the center line, lost traction, and if I had been like 20 meters ahead of where I was, I would have been hit and probably knocked off my bike. So I really wanted that footage so that I could show that off and like name and shame him. But the footage is corrupt unfortunately, so I think what I'm going to do is put a hold on this video for now, for tonight, maybe pick it up tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, good morning guys, how's it going? It's a new day, it's the next day. I have edited all of the footage that I shot yesterday. And god damn, that's annoying that that footage corrupted. I really wanted to show you guys that. But after doing the editing, I've noticed now that the video has come up to, you know, around about half an hour long. That's quite long. I need to really work on getting my video length shorter, and I have learned over the sort of the years that the majority of people do prefer the shorter videos. So what I think I am going to do is stop the recording for this video here. I'm going to say goodbye, and as soon as I've finished putting that video together and uploaded it, I'm going to come straight back out and start recording the next video, which will be our catch up, and I'll let you know what's been going on, and we'll just have a chat, yeah. And maybe I'll take the bike for a spin and stuff like that. Or maybe this time we'll get a piece of footage that doesn't corrupt. So I want to thank you all for watching this video today. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. Hopefully you guys still like me. Thank you guys for all of your continued support through YouTube, Facebook, Patreon, direct messaging me. Just like, even I saw a lot of you like inquiring with Dean and Fernando, like, how's James doing? That's like, it's really, and I was watching, and it was really cool to see how much you guys actually really care about my channel, and I am incredibly grateful for it. And also, I hit 10,000 subscribers, so milestone achieved. Thank you all so much. Choose to be happy. I will catch you hopefully in around about 5 or 10 minutes time when I'm finished putting all this together. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you in the next video. Kite Ano.